We're right back live in the studios here at Viewpoint, WLCN 96.3. And the old geezer got so interested in our guest this morning that I really forgot you had to get away, Sam. And I apologize for that. I was enjoying our back and forth so much, and the clock ran out on me, and you need to get away. I'll give you a couple minutes to sum up here what you're trying to do, and then we're going to thank you very much for your appearance, and we'll let you get up the road.
Okay. Well, thanks again for having me, Bill. I always thought that if I hadn't gone into education to be a teacher and a coach and now an activities director, my backup option was to go into radio broadcasting, honestly.
Well, I don't think he can make it. He doesn't talk very well.
Yeah. Sometimes I talk too much for my own good, but I've always thought that it would be the neatest job in the world to be a professional announcer and go to all the professional ball games and baseball games, sit there and watch the game and talk about sports. I mean, how hard is that? But I actually passed up on a radio broadcasting camp that I saw advertised. My first year as a teacher, I saw the guidance office had this broadcasting camp in St. Louis. I don't know, it cost $300, $400 to go to this camp, and you got to sit with professional announcers and kind of practice your trade and see if it was for you. And I was this close to trying it out just to see if I could do it, but I didn't. But it's
had another holy cow. For sure.
I'd have been chasing the Cardinals around, but I could have still said holy cow. I used to listen to or watch Harry on TV all the time as a kid, because in our town we had cable TV, but the only station they had was Cubs games, and I'm not a Cubs fan, but that's what I watched during the day in the summertime as a kid. So, but came on to talk about Pop Warner football, and in Lincoln again, it's not really technically Pop Warner football, but youth football. Mm-hmm. It's a great thing for kids. We're taking sign-ups now. You can get a hold of Steve Ferris or any other youth coach that they might know to sign up for youth football. Practice begins on July 16th. Mm-hmm. That's a Monday, I believe, and we'll have kids coming out of the woodwork that day and parents signing kids up and handing out equipment and getting rolling. And it takes a couple weeks to kind of get our rosters settled out, because people forget about it. People are on vacation. People say, oh, my gosh, I totally didn't know that youth football was starting. But when they drive past Eaton in the afternoon and they see 150 kids out there practicing football, it kind of clicks, oh, shoot, we got to get our kids signed up for football. So they can get a hold of any youth coach. We'll point them in the right direction to get them signed up for football. It's kind of a business of the more the merrier. If we have multiple kids and we need to split grades up into 2 teams, we'll certainly do that to give everybody a chance to play. So,
well, Sam Knox, we thank you very, very much. It occurs to me, Jim, that he's an outstanding representative of District 404 staff out there. If they're like him, we're in great shape.
Well,
thank you very much, Sam. We're going to let you scoot out of the studios while we take a quick break now. And have a good day, sir.
Okay, thanks, Bill.
Well, right back live here in the studios of WLCN. The program is Viewpoint 96.3. As you just heard, we had with us a very, very bright, articulate young man, Sam Knox, Director of Athletics at Lincoln Community High School, and he's vitally involved in the youth football program. We appreciate his presence. I indicated a while ago that I thought he is an outstanding representative for District 404, and Jim and I talked off air as to his enthusiasm and his ability to say what he has. He talked about the possibility of getting into broadcasting as a younger man. I think he may have missed a great career there. I think he had a lot of opportunities. We talked to Jim before the airtime. We talked about going to the baseball game down in St. Louis at the new park. Last week I was privileged to go down there with some friends as a guest. We were corporate guests. And the reason I bring this up and mention it, number one, the park is the new park. I'd not been into it, beautiful park. And I looked on the ticket, and it said $77. And of course, Coca-Cola is $5 or $6. A bottle of water is $4 or $5. Beer is $8. I cannot fathom how in the world Joe Smith, the average fan, can take his son or grandson to a ball game other than once in a lifetime. It's just incredible. And I said, well, and our seats were good. They weren't the best in the house by any stretch. First part of the second tier, right behind the dugout, very good seats. And I asked, well, what would it cost behind the plate? $233. how in the world, of course, some of those people, that's like $2.33 to you and I. But nonetheless, average Joe Smith walking in off the street with his grandchildren, that's got to be a real stretch for him. It's a really, in with this ticket, that'll get you entrance to an area where they have a half a dozen or maybe more particular vendors of various types of cuisine. And I didn't see a plate, and they were all red paper plates naturally. I didn't see a plate was worth less than $12, for goodness sakes. So it's a real entry into some big money down there. And of course, the reason for that is we're paying these hot dogs millions of dollars. I mean, it's really obscene what these professional athletes get. We think they ought to have good money, and they work hard. It's not just the game. There's lots of off-season, year-round practice for the most part. And but still in all, it's obscene money. You take a guy and pay him $44 million. That you don't understand where that can come from. It's beyond our thoughts. But in any event, we're glad to have had Sam with us this morning. Again, I will mention that our sidekick, Judy Busby, is enjoying a much-needed sabbatical with her daughters and her granddaughters. And so with no further ado, we'll sign off this morning with I found a quote here that has to do with coaching and athletics. And it says, the toughest problems a football coach faces are defensive linebacker and offensive alumni. A little appropriate there. Thank you very much for Viewpoint.